He's ducking you.
Talking about ducking since before the first fight.
Okay.
There's two things that are happening here. Either somebody messed up in paperwork or in communication or in some form of getting this fight together, misspoke to one of these guys, or Floyd Mayweather is trying to scam Netflix. That is the only two things that can be possible here.
Clearly, he doesn't value anything that he signs. He loves to tell people don't do bad business, but this is like as high as it gets on the ladder of doing bad business.
Manny Pacquiao laughed at Floyd Mayweather's reported $100 million Netflix penalty, saying Floyd should stop acting cowardly, confront his problems like a man, accept responsibility for his actions, and quit blaming others for mistakes that he allegedly made himself.
And
Don't be
yeah, don't be a chicken, don't be a coward, don't be a chicken, don't be a coward, be a man, stop sitting down and throwing your problems on everybody else and blaming another individual or people for everything gone wrong in your life.
Jazz Math stated that Floyd Mayweather knew exactly what he was signing and fully understood that the agreement involved a professional boxing match. Denying the contract now makes little sense, according to him, because every important term had already been clearly outlined before it was signed.
Beforehand.
So it's not like he didn't know what he was signing. Okay. He definitely knew what he was signing. He definitely knew what he was getting himself into. But what can I say? I mean, at some point things just get real, and it got real. So that's where we're at today.
Well, consequences are real as
yes,
well. So
absolutely.
what is the ramifications of him taking that money and then not honoring the contract?
I mean, each party have their own damages, right? The production company that we're working with, Everwonder, will help put this together and have a great relationship with Netflix. They're one of the premier live sports partners for Netflix. They have their own claims and damages. We, Manny Pacquiao and Manny Pacquiao Promotions have our own claims and damages, right? We're sitting in a limbo right now, not knowing if this man is going to step in the ring or he's not going to step in the ring. Clearly, he doesn't value anything that he signs. He loves to tell people don't do bad business, but this is like as high as it gets on the ladder.
Manny Pacquiao insisted that Floyd Mayweather cannot back out of the contract or avoid a rematch any longer. He said he wants this fight because he believes he was not at his absolute best in their first meeting and deserves another opportunity to prove himself.
For me, I want this fight because the last time that we had, I'm not 100% conditioned because ready for the fight because I have injury, shoulder injury. So that's why right after the fight, I go straight to the hospital and get operated.
Do you feel like he's ducking you?
Reports claim Floyd Mayweather is facing intense legal and financial pressure, with possible penalties exceeding $100 million over the Netflix-Pacquiao rematch dispute. Separate allegations also suggest that his boxing gym could face closure because of reportedly unpaid financial obligations.
Is now under investigation with the IRS. He apparently owes the IRS $7 million, and they're looking to put a lien on his stuff. He's having issues with money. And Floyd Mayweather took the advance money from Netflix to face off against Manny Pacquiao in a rematch September 19th. And it's official on BoxRec. And so Floyd Mayweather's going through financial issues, big financial issues, right? And he's trying to recoup money any way possible. But he signed and took the advance from Netflix to fight Manny Pacquiao in the rematch in September in a real fight, only to turn around and say, it's not going to be a real fight, it's going to be an exhibition. That's after he already received the advance money.
Recent reports also mention an alleged $7.3 million IRS tax lien, along with ongoing concerns surrounding a possible contract breach, creating even more financial and legal pressure for Floyd Mayweather.
Fight at the Sphere on Netflix. So he's reneging. And Manny Pacquiao is not happy, Netflix is not happy, so on and so forth, right? With that said, it said that Floyd Mayweather's boxing gym, the famous Mayweather boxing gym, has been receiving issues because unpaid money, right? And so it's on the verge of being shut down, allegedly. I was just there. And now it's widespread reports that Manny Pacquiao got wind of this.
Manny Pacquiao said he feels sorry for Floyd Mayweather, believing he places too much importance on material possessions and constantly boasts about his wealth instead of showing humility, respect, and personal responsibility.
How was it like fighting Mayweather then? Did he get on your nerves? Because I feel like he's a little bit more boastful than the people you might be wanting to hang out with.
It's kind of, yeah, he's boastful. I think his God is the material things, money, everything like that.
Yeah.
And
do you guys ever talk outside the ring?
I'm pity with him. I'm pity with him because I want to share the word of God in him if he believe God.
Yeah. I've heard he's a generous man. I think he's done good things. I think
the growing number of lawsuits and debt-related claims involving Floyd Mayweather has surprised many observers, including a $1.3 million legal dispute over luxury jewelry, adding even more pressure to his already controversial financial situation.
This time from a high-end Miami jeweler claiming he owes $1.375 million for luxury watches and chains. According to court filings, Mayweather allegedly purchased 27 watches and 15 chains, totaling $1.675 million from Adri's Jewelry last August, but paid just $300,000. 5 checks reportedly bounced. The lawsuit follows other recent legal issues, including a New York claim alleging he owes $330,000 in unpaid rent on a Manhattan penthouse, along with a separate federal case in South Florida involving a reported $4 million jewelry dispute. The 50-0 former champion is scheduled to return to the ring in September for a rematch against Manny Pacquiao.
Wade Plemons strongly questioned the controversy surrounding Floyd Mayweather's reported breach of contract with Netflix over the proposed rematch against Manny Pacquiao. According to Wade, only 2 explanations seem believable. Either there was a major breakdown in paperwork and communication during negotiations, or Mayweather is intentionally trying to manipulate the deal for financial advantage. The most surprising claim is that Mayweather allegedly received a cash advance from his purse before the fight was officially secured. Wade says this is highly unusual, especially when the event itself is already in jeopardy. While advance payments can happen in boxing, receiving a significant amount and then publicly undermining the promotion raises serious concerns.
Before they even got to the fight. I understand like paying some up front to secure the fight, but paying everything? Maybe it's not what it is. Maybe the cash advance is like partially, but still, what? So if this is to be believed, and this is via ESPN, this is not, random Twitter person reporting this. I think Mike Coppinger also reported the same thing. If this is to be believed, Floyd took a cash advance and then undermined the promotion of his own fight to try to protect his 50-0 record and still make a bag. Floyd has done this for years. He has done this for years, especially after his pro career. When he was doing these exhibitions, he would not show up to things he was obligated to do, take advances. Even the Deji fight, you can ask Deji, I was there. Floyd demanded that they pay him some insane amount of money.
Wade further suggested that this may not be an isolated situation. He claimed Mayweather has allegedly followed a similar pattern during previous exhibition bouts, where financial demands and last-minute changes created confusion. Wade referenced the Deji exhibition and the Logan Paul event, where similar accusations involving payment disputes and promotional conflicts reportedly surfaced. What makes the situation even more serious, he says, is the legal aspect. Reports indicate that Mayweather signed 3 separate agreements for a professional fight with Pacquiao and allegedly received payment under those contracts. If that information is accurate, Wade believes Mayweather could be considered in breach of contract, making legal action from Netflix and Team Pacquiao highly likely. He says this could become one of the biggest legal controversies of Mayweather's post-boxing career.
They actually did it. They paid Floyd to do it. And I've seen this with a bunch of his exhibitions, and obviously we know about the Logan Paul situation, how Floyd shopped his fight to a different company after essentially scamming royalty like Prince whoever in Dubai and stole his money. This is insane. Now he's trying to do it to Netflix. Oh yeah, he's 100% about to get sued because Team Pacquiao says Floyd Mayweather signed 3 contractual agreements for a professional fight against Pacquiao. 3 separate agreements. They also claim Floyd Mayweather has been paid for signing these 3 agreements and has also taken out a cash advance payment on his purse for the fight. They also say Floyd Mayweather is officially in breach of contract for publicly stating this fight is an exhibition. And if this is all true, which again, this is Team Pacquiao saying this, but again, I think Mike Coppinger also reported on this.
Floyd Mayweather's luxury lifestyle has long been associated with wealth, status, and public displays of success. Expensive watches, custom jewelry, designer clothing, and a money-centered image have all become part of his brand. However, the latest legal dispute involving AJ's jewelry presents a different picture, suggesting that this lavish lifestyle may now be colliding with financial and legal challenges. According to complaint, the jeweler allegedly trusted Mayweather under a "you're good for it" arrangement, allowing him to take possession of high-value jewelry with payment expected later. Such agreements may have worked in the past because of Mayweather's reputation and earnings history. This time, however, the lawsuit claims the agreement fell apart. Court filings allege that Mayweather failed to make the agreed payments, submitted only partial installments, and that several checks were reportedly returned unpaid. Records also claim that only around $300,000 was received, leaving an outstanding balance of approximately $1.375 million, despite repeated efforts to settle the matter privately.
You're good for it, you'll get me later. And in the past, maybe they had this arrangement and it works. But in this new lawsuit and complaint, he's saying that for whatever reason, allegedly, Floyd defaulted on that and then sent partial payments, but not the agreed upon amount. And then he's claiming that Floyd Mayweather had checks that he sent to pay back this debt owed, and they bounced. According to court records, AJ's jewelry says it only received about $300,000 in payments, which leaves roughly $1.375 million owed. And that repeated attempts to reach Floyd to resolve this debt have been unsuccessful. So this suit also lists and details how transactions were handled, and allegedly there was a breach of contract.
This situation highlights the risks of maintaining an extremely extravagant lifestyle where public image often depends on constant displays of wealth. Jewelry worth more than $1 million represents luxury, but it can also become a serious legal liability when payments are disputed. For a boxer once known as Manny Mayweather, these allegations raise questions about whether his image of endless riches is now being overshadowed by lawsuits and unpaid financial obligations. It also suggests that the pressure to maintain a flashy, larger-than-life lifestyle may be contributing to the difficult period surrounding the semi-retired champion.
Based on this current outstanding balance. As far as Mayweather's representatives, they have not issued a public statement on this matter or responding to the lawsuit at hand. This latest filing adds to a series of legal and also contractual disputes involving the 8 division, well, actually, he's a 6 division world champion since his retirement. And this is kind of underscoring how these celebrity transactions can lead to former litigation and go left when they are contested. So that is where we are regarding Floyd Mayweather. Troubled times for the now semi-retired boxer Floyd Mayweather. So $1.4 million in jewelry.
Aries Spears sharply criticized reckless spending habits by pointing to the financial struggles once experienced by Mike Tyson. He used Tyson's story as a reminder that even the greatest athletes are not protected from money problems when poor financial decisions take over. Massive fortunes can disappear quickly through extravagant lifestyles, uncontrolled spending, and a lack of long-term planning. Spears emphasized that fame and wealth alone do not guarantee financial security. Without discipline and smart financial management, even legendary careers can end with serious setbacks, proving that success in sports can be just as fragile as the wealth it creates.
Out at was one of like the OG jewelers. Like these are the one of the jewelers that supplies like all the other jewelers, right? And he told me that Mayweather is broke.
I keep hearing this.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true.
I don't think so.
But he said that based on his spending and so forth, this is why these fights are happening now. That he needs to make some money back. That the spending has outpaced the money that, the money
he's been retired.
Right.
And he's still, flying to Monaco with a bad bitch, buying up half the store.
Right. Always flying private.
Yeah.
Does he have his own plane?
Yeah, he does.
He does, right. So that's massively expensive. Even if you own it, the upkeep is huge. Right. Plus all the properties, all the property tax. Yeah, I mean, if you're not properly invested, because there was he was saying that he bought this building in the Diamond District, but people are saying that's, the same jeweler said that's actually not true.
Right.
So there's been a lot of stuff like that. Listen, I hope not, man, but I remember I interviewed Tyson. He lost like $300 million.
Business expert Grant Cardone criticized Floyd Mayweather's financial strategy, arguing that poor investments and excessive spending could prevent long-term wealth growth and financial stability. He questioned the value of having more than 22 million followers, asking whether that audience actually generates meaningful business opportunities or consistent income. According to Cardone, a large social media following has little value if it cannot be converted into assets, investments, or reliable cash flow.
Floyd Mayweather's got 22 million people following him, but is it any good? Like I don't know what it does with him. Like, does it do business with him? Does it transact with him? I know guys with big followings. But there's nothing happens as a result of the following.
So you on the is Floyd rich or is Floyd broke? Which side?
I don't know. I think Floyd ends up broke.
Ends up broke.
If he doesn't, it's not a Floyd thing. It's not a Floyd thing. It's an asset thing. If you don't end up in assets, you end up broke.
Yeah.
So because you can't keep fighting forever.
So if Floyd was watching right now, what would you say to him?
Floyd, you need to spend as much time working on your investments as you do in Neiman Marcus or the Gucci store, the Fendi store.
He could just invest with you, though, right?
He could invest at Cardone Capital. I would ensure that he's a billionaire.
Wow.
You cannot become a billionaire without assets.
Cardone suggested that Mayweather could eventually face financial instability if he continues prioritizing luxury purchases over long-term investment strategies. In his view, lasting wealth is not built by shopping at high-end stores, but through owning income-producing assets such as real estate and major companies. He explained that true billionaires expand their fortunes by creating systems that generate consistent cash flow. Cardone pointed to companies like Amazon, Facebook, and Netflix as examples of modern wealth-building assets. While real estate remains one of the strongest paths to long-term financial success, his message to Mayweather was straightforward. Shift the focus from lifestyle spending to strategic investments that create lasting wealth and generational financial security.
That's what Floyd would do. Floyd would take whatever money he's got, and we would basically. My recommendation to Floyd is, Floyd, do not be liquid. You do not want liquidity. Never show a king bed of cash again. Okay, it makes you look stupid. Okay, what would be smart is if you show somebody 38 acres of real estate that produces cash every month and say, look, I own that. And I own this one over here and I own that one. I met him just 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's like, I got some penthouses. I said, no, you got this much of a penthouse. I own the whole place. That's the difference. Call me when you're serious.
Chael Sonnen explained that Floyd Mayweather, like many elite fighters, faces a challenge of preserving his wealth after retirement. He noted that while Mayweather's boxing career brought enormous fame, record-breaking earnings, and worldwide recognition, the spotlight naturally begins to fade once competition ends. According to Sonnen, this transition can be difficult because attention, opportunities, and consistent income streams are no longer guaranteed. Even for the most accomplished athletes, managing money after retirement becomes just as important as earning it inside the ring. He emphasized that long-term financial discipline and smart investing are essential to ensure that success achieved during a career continues to provide stability for years to come.
What boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question.
But it's the fact that they're attempting to tease him. I mean, first off, they're asking the question. Look, I've told you until I'm blue in the face. The numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. Literally nobody. It's the same thing with boxing pay-per-view. Whatever boxing pay-per-view is the biggest boxing pay-per-view of all time is just whoever put out the press release and lied more than the person before them. These have never been confirmed by leadership of a publicly traded company, who is the one that supplies the pay-per-view. It is illegal for them to lie. You have never heard Time Warner.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.